Hello everyone, this is John for PokerVIP.com, and in this video we're going to do part 2 of grinding the twisters over on Coral. And again, the reason I want to show you this, if you've not seen episode 1, or part 1 should I say, is how much money you can make from rewards and how much you can make from the games. Plus, you know, it's kind of like that MTT mindset of, and you can bink a load of money for not a lot of money in a very quick period of time. So you can grind it out, make a very solid amount of money each month, have a really good ROI, and then also, you know, you can win anywhere from 1,000 to 50,000 euros within 10 minutes. So it's really an attractive game to play, I think. If you sign up to Core, you're going to get 30% rake back and a $75,000 rake race on Poker VIP alone. You're also going to get a £200 deposit bonus. Then what Coral have done is thought, well, let's make 3 rake races, and they're all going to have 10k in them. Sorry, it's going to be 30k total, and they're going to break it down for stakes. So the €1 and €2 ones, the winner gets 250 euros. 5 and 10, the winner gets 500, and the 20 and 50s, the winner gets 1,000. 75 places paid across the board, and just a load more money to be added to your bottom line. Also, once you do deposit, if you deposit €5 or more, you're going to get €20 absolutely free to play in these twisters. So €20, 2 rake races, 30% rake back, deposit bonus. Plus everything else Coral throw in because they you know, these promos pop up from time to time. But enough about that. We're going to make this video. We're going to play the €2 ones this time. First we played the 1. Now we're going to play the 2. Most you can win is €2,000 because it's always 1,000 times your buy-in. And here we go. We're going to talk, you know, basic strategy, how to win a load of money, and all that good stuff, really. Resizable tables, of course, on Coral. Everything just works really well. You can tile them if you're mass tabling as well. But for us, we're just going to play the 1. Sadly, another double. You will get a lot of doubles. There's no way around it. You know, like every site who runs these Jackpot SnGs, you know, twisters, spin and goes, you know, all the other names there are, you will get a lot of doubles, but you will also get your fair share of higher prizes. Anybody who don't know what a twister is, a 3-person turbo sit and go, winner takes all, and like you saw, you spin the wheel. Get what were kings for the very first hand, which sucks, but you know, level 1, you generally find people playing tighter, although at these €1 and €2 levels, I've seen some really silly stuff. To learn twisters is quite simple, by the way. The basic strategy is very much like, you know, almost solved, and if you're a good player and have good feel for the game, you know, you'll be able to be, you know, one of the best players in the pools. What does change the way the games play is how much you're playing for, who you're playing against, and just general game flow. And I think those are the things that really separate, you know, the okay winning players to the absolute crushers who win it all. And that basically just means, so we're playing for €4 now. It's only a double. People might not care as much. You know, they're autopiloting. They've probably loaded up a load more tables. Say we spun this and it was €500, for example. People would stop registering. They would concentrate because, you know, there's so much money to be made in this spot. So you can obviously take advantage, you know, in a mixed way across the games there. Gone for a 3-bet here with a 6-7 suit. I'm gonna have to fall to a jam. People are going to be opening the buttons a lot, so we should definitely be 3-betting the small blind and big blind. Well, 3-betting the small blind more than we 3-bet the big blind. Big blind we can, you know, peel a lot more because we're getting that better price. Open king deuce, get 2 callers, stack to pot ratio. Don't even have 3 times the amount, so I'm going to bet, and if anybody raises, I will just be going with it because they can of course have flush draws and some worse pairs. Plus we have the backdoor flush draw there as well, so I'm going to bet and just not fold. And how the point system works on the races is, for example, you play a €10 twister, you get 10 points. If you win it, you get 20 points. Also, every single Monday there is a €1,500 guaranteed tournament. Anyone who places in the leaderboard gets invited to. Gonna jam here. Basically think he's gonna have some draws. He might come in for 6, so just gonna go with it. Assume he's never got a 3. He can definitely have some better kings. Well, he has the 3. So that's one of the things I was talking about, of just like how bad some people can play. He peeled 8-3 suited. I mean, it's questionable, and then he called with bottom pair. Sadly, he hit his 3 there. But you know, people will play crazy, and we're going to make money from them in the long run. So hopefully we just run a bit better in these future ones. Always keep a straight head on you. It really doesn't matter, like the odd hand, the odd pot. As long as you're playing your best, playing well, playing correct strategy, the money will come in. Looks like we're going to get another double here. And, you know, same thing, winner takes all, three-handed turbo. Really like Coral Poker as well. Super fast cash outs, and their poker manager is one of the best out there. You know, very much on top of everything. Always at the end of a call, always at the end of an email if we ever have anything to discuss. Gets any issues solved very quickly. But the issues don't really arise, so you're in very safe hands with Coral. Obviously one of the biggest bookmakers in the world as well, so lots of money and lots of sports bettors and gamblers, you know, coming into these games. I folded 6-9 on the button for the very first hand. Results orientated, a big mistake, but, you know, playing properly, not a mistake. This guy checks back a queen on turn and river. I mean, just really bad play there by Lucas. He can definitely get called by worse. But like I say, a lot of the players in these pools are very, very, very poor players and recreationals. So you see, you know, really bad lines played a lot. I called flop versus the 20. I think I would have called turn as well. You know, king high is going to be the best hand sometimes. He actually had a 10. I quite like his bet size on flop. If I was him, I might have checked turn and then gone for river value rather than, you know, minimum bet and then get nothing. Raise a7, take it down. We can mix it up between 3x and min raising. I tend to min raise button 3x blind versus blind. Okay, small raise here. And I did this in the €1 games. I went all in and ran into ace king, but I still stand by the fact that I believe this is the best play because there's 140 in the middle. We have 440 back. We have a very strong hand, and these guys can play very random. So we just ship it. And sadly, we do run it into a very strong hand again. Maybe a strategy we need to adjust. But I definitely believe in the long run that this pays off. So sadly, that's 2 down very quickly. Didn't even get out of level 1 on that one. So we're going to go play another. Leave any comments and reviews. Let me know what you think about that ace-jack suited hand. You know, we have 30% against kings. You know, that is one of the major points. We're going to have 50% against a lot of his range. He's going to fold a good amount of the time. So when you run it through like an equity solver, you're going to see it comes out as fine as a jam once you bring in all the considerations. If we do continue to see that is a theme of min raising with strong hands, we can obviously go and change that. And of course, you know, noting players, you know, you can color code them, you know, you can add your notes. So definitely something you should be doing along the way. This guy limbed. I mean, I'm just going to bet half pot with my pair and, you know, hope he folds, really. I don't think he's going to, you know, call with much worse. I don't think he's going to check raise that often. And if he does, I'm just going to fold. Even though we're getting a good price there with bottom pair, we shouldn't continue. But perhaps with an 8, we would. But, you know, if he just folds any 2 overcards there, we can get out of the way. 4-5, I just made up the small blind, getting 5-1, get a really terrible flop. And we're going to fold versus this pot size lead. Pot size lead, you know, maybe a 2-pair type hand there for him. He's trying to protect his hand width. Okay, been raised here, and we will be going all in with 5s. 22 big blinds, 5s, 3-handed again. Just the line we need to take. Going to run into worse sometimes. Going to be flipping a lot. He's going to fold sometimes. And wow, he's actually only got ace-9 here. So now we just need to avoid an ace-9, 6, or 8. And we do not. So that is 3 ending very quick. Maybe not a good showcase here for for winning, but certainly for how soft the games are. This is proving one hell of a point. Getting a double here. Looking at the names of these guys and looking at the leaderboard, doesn't seem to be showing any of them so far. So I think we have been playing a very good time of day. It's almost 2 p.m. here in England. So I guess a lot of the regs come out at night. So it's something good to know when the soft games are. This guy's gone all in the very first two hands. Could mean he's crazy. Could just mean he has hands that he wants to go all in with, such as small pairs. We will find out on this hand probably. Fold, and I'm going to go ahead and defend versus a min raise with Jack high. And fold this flop. King 8. I am going for a 3x open. Jack 4 we fold. I mean, we assume Jan's a little bit more aggressive. So, you know, really hoping in these junk hands right now would not be a good play. He's all in again. And wow. Yeah, I mean, it really says it all. I mean, you just have to basically keep your head up. You know, like I lost those 3 or 4 very quick. You know, a couple of them were, you know, spots which were standard. You know, one of them, you know, we lost a flip. And, you know, maybe there, you know, we see Jack 3 versus 5-10 suited. We're going to lose sometimes with, like, you know, Ace Kings versus those 8-3 offs or whatever. But, you know, if you play that hand, you know, 100 times, then you're going to be making a whole lot of money. Guy's just going to go all in a lot by looks of it. So it could be interesting. Going to raise King 5. And I think I'll fold here versus a jam. Even though he showed down the 10-5 suited and has played very aggressive. I think we can maybe wait for a better spot here. And blinds are still only 10-20. Gone up to 15-30 now. All in again. We're going to fold 10-7 off. 9-10 suited. We're going to go all in. Hand plays just very well versus everything. So, as you can see there, we're pretty much a flip versus Queen High. Very good flop. Not a good turn, though. And not a good river. Not running good in this session. Lost everyone played so far. I think that's 5 in a row we've lost. Hopefully we can turn it around. Mr. Runners and Win-Win 10. Again, I cannot see them in the leaderboard, which I've got on my other monitor. And you know, at Poker VIP, I'm sure you guys know, we never change a video. We never delete it. We never go over it. We, you know, show very real poker, very real swings. But, you know, the main thing is we keep our poker playing real as well. 9-10 versus Queen 7. Of course, he did have the best hand pre-flop by 2%. But the basic thing is we have 12 big blinds. This guy's going all in a lot. 9-10 suited versus everything plays very well, like I said. We are often going to be flipping, dead flipping, you know, dead heat flipping, so all good. 6-8 this time, calls it off. Why? No idea, but it pays off for him. Just very, very bad play, of course. You don't want to be getting in with 6-8. Lots of gamblers here. You know, there's just no strategy to his play, by the way. Like, there's nothing correct about calling with 6-8 there. There's no bounty on this guy's head. Yes, it is winner takes all, but it's level 1. And there's really no need to, you know, spew that hard. You know, there's going to be no real reason to do so. Anyway, a6 we raise. And if he jams, I will call, just because I feel like he is going to be jamming a lot wider than ace high. Never check fold. That is just a bad habit I have. Look at I unticked it. You never want people to know that you're, you know, not interested in the hand at all, because they're just going to win post flop so often. Here I'm going to go for a check raise and just not ever think about folding with top pair and a gut shot. Let's go. Need to avoid a jack, queen, or club. Just a club now. Nice. We win an all in, guys. Maybe we can pull this back. We're now the chip leader. His play, by the way, I think he should probably just raise pre-flop. I think limping there is just not really great with Jack Queen suited. It's a very strong hand. We're going to call when we're dominated a lot. He can definitely, you know, raise call it off as well. But he opted to limp and it didn't work out for him. Going to raise here with the ace king. Maybe he's limp jamming or planning to limp jam a lot. Which would be great in this spot when we have ace king. Going to go ahead and bet here. Could also check call. So we're going to have to fold it. I think if I had the ace or king of diamonds, we'd go ahead and call, but without, it's a fold. Just with 2 overs and a gut shot. Just not getting the right price there. Blinds are up 15-30, min raising the button with 8-9 off. Could also incorporate this into a limping range. He's min raised, and like I say, in cash games, tournaments, whatever, if you ever get min raised, you should always just peel and hope to hit the flop. You know, that is the strategy. And we do hit the flop here. Not favourable because it's ace high, but once he gives us the free card, I think we take the free card as well. Another ace on the turn, so maybe he's got a hand like jacks through to kings, and he's a little bit scared of it. So we're just going to check here and hope to hit. I don't think I'm going to bluff him off much, so just going to check give up here. Yeah, check king 8, which is interesting because of all those ace jack hands when I've been min raised, and I've been jamming, saying people just min raise randomly. That kind of shows it. You can just jam here for it with a7. I imagine you can call with worse, and maybe sometimes fall better. Ace 9, ace 8, ace 10. And wow, he actually called with 7-5, so we're in a great spot here. Just anything but a 5 on the river, and we take it down. Just crazy play by him. Left with one big blind. It is just so dumb to make that move. Like, not good at all. Looks like we're going to double him up here. Hopefully we can get him on the next all in. And we'll basically just be all in now until, you know, he gets like 5 or 6 big blinds maybe. But, you know, not going to fold any 2 for the prices I'm going to be getting. 7 deuce, need to hold. Big turn. Sai, he hits a straight, but we'll be all in again, any 2 here, because it's only 3 big blinds, and out of our stack it's not much. Luckily we wake up with a monster, and 1 overcard here, just need to avoid the 10, and once I've hit that 7, it is pretty much curtains for him, so we do pull it back and get a win there. We'll go ahead and play one more, see if we can get unstuck. If we win this next one, we're pretty much evens on the day. Going to spin the wheel. Hopefully we get more than a double. Sadly not. So I think that's, you know, not good, but we're saving it for the higher ones, so we can start getting the higher jackpots. 3-4, we're going to go for a min raise. And we get caught in 2 spots here, and this is a very easy give up, even if this guy did not lead. Ace deuce calls it with ace high and a gut shot and hits versus queens. Wow. I mean, this game is crazy. We haven't had a 3. Queens will never know that, but we even had a 3. Min raise with king high on the button. I'm just going to ship it here. I mean, this guy's definitely going to call with worse. I can't really bet and then, you know, do anything else. I'm just going to ship for not even twice the size of the pot. Mainly to protect my hand. And of course, as I said, I can definitely get caught by worse, so. Going to go ahead and do that for that reason. This guy limps, he raises, we get out of the way with jack high. I imagine this is a very favourable flop for Mr. Bank HKM. He bets and gets called, and king 4's in there, and not looking good. I mean, it's so bad how people are playing. Like, you know, this is real money. You know, these prizes are paid out. You know, this could be €100 one, and these guys are still going to be just as bad. 7-8, I go ahead and call, and it's going to be a very easy check call when I flop second pair. Turn's going to be interesting depending on his bet sizing. Check, check. I think I'm going to bet small here and just not fold if he thinks about raising. I'm going to try and get him to call me with ace high. He folds. I don't want to check because I just feel like he's going to check back his ace highs a lot. So I think leading there small is going to be the best scenario. Limped with 5-7 flop to straight, going to bet pretty large here. He's going to have lots of, you know, straight draws, pairs, flush draws, you know, gut shots that he's going to continue with. 7 deuce is appeal versus the min raise because it's suited. Offsuit we can fold. I'm going to go ahead and check fold the flop. 8-5, we're going to go for a limp again. I'm going to check here and basically go for a delayed c-bet on the turn. Not the greatest turn card here because he can definitely call me with queen highs. He bets and I call though. He still bets again. I mean, he's wrapping an ace or a king, which I'm not too sure he has that many of. So I think I'm just going to go for a raise here and assume he doesn't have it. You know, once I limp, we expect him to raise with a lot of his aces and kings. And, you know, when we check flop, call turn, we can certainly have an ace. So I think we just rep it with really well. And, you know, that sort of like is a bit of a myth buster that, you know, people, you know, you shouldn't bluff at these stakes. You absolutely should. If it makes sense and, you know, all works out, then, you know, you should definitely pull the trigger. King 3 is a call. And a fold. 9-10. Happy to min raise. Don't want to be limping all the time. Definitely still fine to just go ahead and aim to steal. Peel with the 4-6 suited flop a gut shot. Going to be a very easy check call, especially with that backdoor straight flush draw, which has developed here. And I think this turn we just go for a check raise all in. I think he's going to be double barreling air a lot, so we're going to get some folds. And I feel, say he does call us on like ace 10, we're going to have the 3 or the club. But the main thing is we think he's going to, you know, have nothing a good amount of time and fold anyway. But if he does call, we have a great backup in our gut shot and flush draw. I actually meant to just call in there. There's no strategy of leaving the 5 behind. And he does fold, which is great. Obviously, that is the best result. I guess the best result is he calls and we hit. But, of course, poker cannot be thought of like that. He jams over my min raise, and I had 7-9 off, so I'm going to muck that. King 7's a call. Going to fold. Going to go ahead and limp the deuce 3 suited. And this is a one and done situation. I'm going to bet once, and if he calls or raises or whatever, I'm just done. I will not be continuing with this hand at all. But basically, I'm just never going to win at showdown, or pretty much almost never. So we should definitely be stabbing with, you know, our very worst hands. Easy call, and flop will be an easy call as well. Jack 9 6-9 improves, but I think if he bets, I call. Well, he actually had an 8. I think he should definitely. I think he should definitely value bet that river. I assumed he was going to show up with king high, ace high, or maybe even a hand like jack queen there. Ace 8 all in. King 10 all in. It's a pretty big jam here, but King 10 does not play amazingly well post flop. I'm definitely happy to get a string of all-ins together because it makes them tighten up and just play very differently versus us. I'm going to try a min raise with 10 deuce. Could also just fold it. But we have a little bit of momentum on our side. Going to peel a suited 7-3 and flop will be a very easy check call as well. He half pots pretty much all flops as a c-bet, so can't really read too much into that. Turn 2 pair, going to go for the check raise all in or call if he jams. And I think I'm going to check here and just hope he bluffs at it. I don't expect to have that many 4s or 8-9s, so I'm just going to check call any amount, even if it's an all-in. And we do in there. He had checked King Queen, so I think that's a really bad jam by him. It's kind of like a merge. If I was him with King Queen, I'd have just bet small and hoped I paid him off. But anyway, that was part 2. We'll be back for part 3, and get signed up and good luck.